Okay, in today's episode, we're gonna do arepas Matt's way. This is gonna get a lot of hate from the arepa lovers out there. This is like an arepa pizza with like a sour cream, horseradish flavored base. I'm actually gonna use wasabi, not horseradish. And smoked salmon, onions, capers. This is gonna be good. But first, we need to make the dough, the arepa dough. So I've got two types of flour. This one is corn, like a cornmeal. And this one is regular all-purpose flour. We've got a cup of this. We're gonna mix that in first. And then 3/4 of a cup of the cornmeal. And we're gonna wanna just give that a little mix. Like this, nice and even. And then over here, I put a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt and a pinch of sugar into a cup of warm water. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need this entire cup, but I wanted to have a little extra just in case. So now that this is all mixed, I make a little hole in the center, add some water, a little bit at a time, and just slowly mix it in. Our goal is to make a ball of dough that doesn't stick to your hand. So that is the key to arepa success. Whether you believe in my arepa or you don't. Okay, now put the neutral oil, or if you want to go Italian with it, put all extra virgin olive oil in, so about a tablespoon. And we're gonna now mix everything together. And this is about the point I can get my hands involved. We're just doing the kneading like I did in episode 1 with the pasta making. Just kind of folding it on itself and kneading. Fold, knead, fold, knead. Yeah, I actually only used about 3/4 of a cup of water, so I used a little less than I thought, and I'm not having anything stick on my hands, so this looks like the right portions. We're just gonna fold it over a couple more times. And then put a cloth over it, a damp cloth. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can come back and make the arepas. So I got a nice ball in here, it's ready to go. Be back in 15. And we're back. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Let's see the results. Okay, it's like a little pizza dough ball. So, I'm gonna fire up this cast iron. You can use a non-stick if you want, but I'm going to do a cast iron for this demonstration. Medium heat, so any type of neutral oil is gonna work well. Just wanna like glaze the surface, nothing crazy. And now I'm going to try to make arepas. I got a little bit more flour here just to handle the dough well. And I'm going to just peel off an arepa size meatball, something like this. Yeah, we'll start with this size. And then how I saw it done by the grandmas is like the palm of your hands, just kind of flattening it out. We're just kind of like making this little thin pizza size piece. So I'll place it right here, add a little flour to this. Let's make another one. Extra virgin olive oil in, so about a tablespoon. I just wanted to touch all the surfaces of this cast iron. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's put the first one down. That looks good. I'm gonna check the other side of it in about 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, we got space for one more. Put it down. Since oftentimes on the burner, there's more heat in the center, I'm actually gonna rotate that first one I put in like this, rotate the second one as well, and the third one I just put on, so I don't need to rotate that quite yet, okay? While this is cooking, we can work on the base. Just because we're only doing 3 arepas, all I need is about a half a cup of sour cream. And I think it's time to flip it. See how it looks. Woo, perfect. Good timing. How's this one? Oh yeah! Okay, so I've got a little more than a half a cup of sour cream. And the first thing I'm gonna wanna put in is Dijon mustard. If your tablespoon doesn't fit in the jar, like mine, you can take your other spoon and kind of shape it in there like that. The reason I'm making this with mustard and wasabi and lemon juice is because I don't have any horseradish. That would be way easier, but it's difficult to get that in the place that I'm living right now, so I'm making do with what I have. So I've got a little bit of mustard in here. We're gonna wanna do a half a teaspoon of wasabi powder. We might wanna add a little bit more, but I'm gonna start with that. Okay. About the same amount of lemon juice. We're gonna mix this concoction together like so. All right. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. I got that mixture I made earlier, so 2 pinches. Oh, that's really nice. That is really clean. I love that. I feel like it could use a little bit more spice though, so let's be cautious, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon more. So now my count is up to 3/4 of a teaspoon. Checking on the arepas. I'm actually gonna flip these again because I want the arepa or whatever you're using to be crispy. I think a little bit more acidity too. So we're just gonna do a little bit more lime juice. Okay, let's taste this now. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the money. So 3/4 of a teaspoon of wasabi powder, 1 tablespoon of mustard, Dijon mustard is what I like to use, 2 pinches of salt and pepper, and about half a teaspoon, a little bit more, maybe a full teaspoon of lemon juice is what I ended up using. Okay, so that is our base. If you're at home and in a country like the US and have the luxury of getting horseradish, I would suggest 2 tablespoons of horseradish sauce for about a cup of sour cream, okay? These arepas are looking nice. I think I mentioned earlier, you're gonna wanna let them cool down before we put the pizza base on there. So I'm gonna take these off of the heat and put them on my plate, and then we can start preparing the final product. While these are cooling down, I can explain the ingredients a little bit. You are welcome to use red onions raw. Just make sure you cut them super thin, and if you don't mind that raw taste. I'm cooking for some friends and I prefer to not smell their raw onion breath, so I pickled it a little bit. I just did a apple cider vinegar water mixture, so warm water, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and that was it. All right, now these are cooling down. So I got these capers here, and they're pretty big. They're big girls. Capers here, and I'm just gonna give them a rough chop. So these are gonna be kind of like garnish on top. Okay, now that the arepas have cooled down, we're gonna take our base and we're going to layer it on like so. A fork is not ideal for this, so I'm just going to drop it and then I'm gonna grab a little cuchillo. So the key to success here is make sure that you do this part right before your friends are going to eat or before you are going to eat this, because you want the bread to stay toasty, you want the arepa to stay toasty, whatever base layer you're using, okay? And then I'm gonna do the pickled onions, the lightly pickled onions. Feel free to use onions normal, but red onions are the way to go. Okay, something like this. Most delightful arepa you've ever had. Okay, next, the smoked salmon. You can use smoked salmon like this, or you could even use raw salmon. Slice it Juliana style, so super thin, and then put a little bit of salt. You can cure it by putting a little salt on there, and that would also be really nice, really nice. All right, so I'm getting my chunks of salmon on each piece. Ooh, this is going to be delicious. We got a lot of big flavors here, a lot of bold flavors, but for me, not enough color, not enough saltiness. there is a Matt's way to solve this. So we're gonna start by getting some nice green capers on here, like so. Ba, 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 ba. Second to last, a little bit of cilantro. I found some cilantro in the fridge, so you can chop it or cut it with scissors. So I'm just gonna give it a little green garnish on top. All right, the last thing I'm gonna do, just because I have it in my kitchen and I like putting it in a lot of dishes, is a little bit of sumac. That's gonna give a little more of the acidity flavor, a little bit more saltiness, and really, for me, it's just add a little purple color. Why not? Let's eat, let's try this out. This is arepas Matt's way. That was good. Yeah. This is arepas Matt's way.